All right, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Wednesday special meeting of the Oklahoma City Public Employment Benefits Trust, and I appreciate everyone cooperating with the change in schedule. It's for Wednesday, June 10th, 2015, and so we'll call the meeting to order. And the first item on the meeting is the approval of the minutes from the May 11th, 2015 meeting.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Next item that we have is to receive the monthly investment flash report. Doug isn't here this morning, but are there any questions or discussions regarding the report? I would have Diana give us the update on, kind of the economic outlook, but I think we'll wait until the next meeting and have Doug do that for us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair,
you're welcome. I figure with your years of experience in this, you might want to do that for us. If there aren't any questions, then I will accept a motion to receive the monthly investment report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is discussion of considering approval of additional asset allocation or changes, and I don't think we have anything this morning, so we can move past that item. Item 5 is adopting a resolution to accept the COTPA retirees into our plan. The city and COTPA have been in a process of working on moving COTPA employees onto our health benefits plan, and as a result, that makes their retirees eligible to participate in our plan. Within the plan document, it would move. Right now, they've only got 11 retirees that are participating in the retirement plan, and the problem they run into is they move their employees in, and that retirement group is in such a small pool that it could get very, very expensive, and it's going to be very, very expensive. And so this is something that works in the city's favor and in COTPA's favor, but it'll make their retirees eligible for participating in our Opebt trust. Right now, the plan is it's not limited within this resolution, but the plan is that only their retirees who are pre-65 will be participating in the Opebt trust. The remaining retirees, the post-65, will continue to work from COTPA. COTPA has a supplement plan for the post-65, and they'll stay on that plan right now. They actually negotiate retiree benefits in their contract, so it's just a contract issue that they're still working through with their union. But for now, that's how that will work. So any retirees, until we make a change in the practice, any retirees, once they reach 65, would move into COTPA's plan. The under 65 would be on our plan. And again, like I said, there's only 2 that are on there right now.
Mr. Chair, I think there are 4 employees, 4 under.
Oh, is it 4?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
there are 4 employees who would actually be moving onto the city's plan who are non-Medicare eligible retirees. The remainder would remain on the COTPA plan.
So it's only 11 total, even with the post-65s, but that's what the practice will be to move them on. Did you have something, Wiley?
Yeah, I was going to add, there's a draft on my desk of an agreement between COTPA and Opebt on how to handle that.
Okay.
So I'll hopefully have it for you.
A further agreement that will come
Right.
back. Now, will that agreement just be between COTPA and Opebt, or will it include the city?
No, just COTPA and Opebt.
So really the city taking action, and that's going to be on the agenda for next Tuesday.
Correct.
With the council. The city taking action on that makes it where their retirees are eligible on Opebt.
That's right.
And we're just agreeing to that.
You're right.
All right. Okay. Can I get a motion? Or are there any questions on the item?
Well, I do have one question. Is it, and this is for Wiley Williams, is it premature for the Opebt Trust to take action today if there's an agreement that's pending?
I don't think so. The way I phrased it is based on the council's approval.
Okay.
So we're acting based on what we know they're going to do, and once they do that, then it'll make them eligible.
Correct.
And the eligibility will begin July 1.
Right, and that's why I threw it not enough time to maybe have done it in a more logical order to get it all done before the end of the, before July 1, we have to do it this way.
Is everyone good with that?
I assume this would have a de minimis impact on our actuarial assumptions.
We did take that into consideration, had their actuary look at that, and we're looking at a couple of different methods that either they could pay the full actuarial liability coming in, which even with a small number of retirees, because you don't know how many are going to participate into the future, can get pretty hefty. or they will commit to paying the full actual required contribution, which we're not even doing on our regular retirees right now. So it's a small impact, you're right, in consideration of the larger scale, but we are taking that into consideration. And I don't know if we'll have that outlined in that agreement. This is the next item that will come forward. Okay.
All right, thank you.
The only other thing I'll add is that the city has restricted the COTPA employees to only participating in the HMO plan. So the indemnity plan is not an available option for those individuals that will be joining the city's plan. We also had our plan provider determine whether or not there would be any impact to the city's plan, and currently the number of COTPA employees and their dependents that would be joining the HMO plan, they said there would be no impact on current rates, but of course that could be subject to change in the future. We don't anticipate there would be much, if any, change.
All right, are there any other questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. The next item that we have is approval of the annual budget. And I believe Doug is here. Doug Dowler, our budget director, is here to speak to this item.
Good morning. If you'll take a look at the kind of tabular format here of the budget, I just thought I'd go through a few of the highlights there of the changes that we've got going for FY16. And as you look at the revenues, that first line there, indemnity retiree contribution, you'll see a significant increase there. And there's really three factors that go into that increase. The first is an estimated 10% increase in the premium equivalent rate that would be effective January 1st, 2016. We don't have the official rates yet set by the actuary, but that's a professional judgment basis. Personnel benefits and the Office of Management and Budget work together to develop those estimates, and so that's what we're projecting as the premium rate equivalent increase. But the other factor that you see there is that last year when we made that estimate together, we had projected 6.5% would be the increase that the premium equivalent rates would go up for the indemnity plan. And what happened is it ended up being closer to 20% in increase. So a big portion of that increase in FY16 is really sort of catching up for calendar year 15 when we underestimated how high the premiums would be. So that's part of the factor that's going into that is catch-up, basically, for FY16. The final factor is the change in the retiree contribution. Again, January 1st, the retirement contribution will go up by 2% for retirees, and that will be at 44% of the premium. Same thing on the HMO side. It's the 2% increase in retiree contribution, as well as a much smaller increase in the expected premium increase for HMO. Dental and life changed just marginally there. You'll see interest and dividend increasing significantly, but that's based on our current experience in the current year, and I think this is really a factor of the growing asset base within the Opebt Trust. We're just now beginning to realize those returns, and the funds have been invested long enough that you're starting to see as they make interest and capital gains on the investments there. Refunds and reimbursements is another one that jumped significantly, but again, that's just kind of based on our current year's experience that I don't know. I would have to defer to personnel if there's some changes in the way certain things are happening in terms of with insurance companies or Medicare or that sort of thing in terms of our reimbursement increase there. Then the subsidy from the general fund is down about $1 million, but that is still an increase. That is about $2.5 million above the pay-as-you-go costs for indemnity and HMO retirees, so that still is continuing to contribute to the balance in the Opebt Trust. The expenditures really track along the same lines there: indemnity, HMO, life, dental. The other thing I'd point out to you is that projected fund balance at the bottom of the page there, and you'll see if things go according to plan this coming year for budget, we would estimate about $44 million would be in the Opebt Trust in fund balance. So that's a growing base there.
At the end of next fiscal year.
At the end of FY16, right. Correct. So that's just kind of a quick overview of the budget. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Doug, I have one question on the interest and dividend income. We're projecting $1.6 million in interest and dividend income for
for next year. And that's really based on our actual experience in the current year. So we only budgeted about $500,000, or let's say $384,000 in the current year, but our experience is we're over that, in that $1.5 million range in the current year already. So it's just really more of a reflection of what we're experiencing currently. Now, there's no guarantee that that's what we'll see in the market. Obviously, the market could go
But
down.
clearly, we were on the low end on our budget.
Yeah, we were on the
Your
low end in the
expectation.
current year, and this is just kind of truing up again
Yeah.
what our experience is.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Doug. Are there any questions? Can I get a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right. The next item is a change order for on the Nyhart contract. Nyhart is our actuary, and this is a change order for us to do some analysis in the current year, to have them start some work on evaluating the cost of moving the firefighters into the Opebt trust, the firefighter retirees into the Opebt trust. And as a part of labor negotiations for FY15-16, there's been a proposal that their employees would move from their VEBA back to the city's health insurance, and if that was the case, that the proposal would include moving the retirees to the Opebt trust. Now, obviously, as opposed to moving the competent employees, that would be a much more significant impact, and one we're really going to have to think hard about and evaluate, and that's what we're asking Nyhart to do. If you read through the memo there, it shows that it's about a $9,500 cost, or is that right? $8,500 cost, and that the general fund will reimburse, the city's general fund will reimburse the Opebt trust for the cost of that expansion. The contract is actually between Opebt and Nyhart, and so we're doing the contract, but we will be reimbursed by the city for the cost of this extension or amendment.
I move for approval.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the next item is actually the approval of the Nyhart contract for FY15-16. And if you remember, they do a full valuation every other year, so this will be one of the years they're doing the abbreviated evaluation. And so it's actually only, what's the number? It's a little over $2,000, about $2,800. Yes, $2,375. All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Next item is ratifying claims listing. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Are there any items from staff or any items from any of the board members? Got any other? Oh, excellent. All right, then we are adjourned.